Hi, this is Matt Mountain with 410 Solutions, and in this video I want to talk through the biggest problem I see when new users are added to Salesforce. So let's go in here and I'm going to click on the gear again. I spend more time in the gear than anything else, and I hit setup. Now over here on the right I've got users. And I'm going to scroll down to users. I always call it users. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a new user. Now, before I do, this is a developer org, so I'm going to deactivate this person. Don't know who it is. I mean, it just came with the app, and I can't default. Okay, figures. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. And there's a couple things. I'm going to end up not creating anyone, but I'm just going to walk through this. So it's first. There you go. Last. All right. First, last at abc.com. Username. Okay. Now, a couple things. The email can be different than the username. The email does not have to be unique. The username does. So that's the first thing is with all my clients, this is always my business email address, but this one is always matt.mountain at whatever the client domain is .com because I need to know which work I'm logging into. Now, over here on the user license, you want to select Salesforce, and assuming there's custom profiles that have been built, select those. I would limit the amount of people that are system administrators. Not because they're going to go in and build any complex flows or anything like that. But best practice, have a couple. But some clients, everybody's a system administrator. So that gives them the ability to export all data and other things like that. Now, by default, it's checked as active. When you get Salesforce, it defaults the time zone to Pacific. So you're going to want to change this for new users and ultimately just change it at the org level before you start. But in this case, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm just going to select East and, whatever, Eastern Standard Time. And now this checkbox is automatically checked to send the email out to say, hey, go ahead and log in. Now, I'm not going to check that. And in this case, I'm not even going to add the person. But what I want to do is highlight the biggest issue once you hit save. And that is going in here, and this is my user record. And so when I set up this developer environment, it came with everything, and I didn't really do anything. But permission sets. This is often the biggest thing that... Well, I just added this new person to Salesforce, and they don't have access to this, that, or the other. Well, permission sets were never added. So what you need to do is go into other users, find out what permission sets they're using, and then when you add a new user, you just come up here, and in this case, you edit the assignments, and you select what permission sets, move them over here, and save them. Because without permission sets give additional functionality to that profile. So if I set them up as a standard user, that's great, but we need to give permission sets. So once you do that, the interface will be much better, and they should be able to see what they're looking for. Now, the other thing I recommend is once you've added that user, and you've added the user, you've added the permission sets, log in as that user. So you can do that. Let's go in here, down to users. And what you want to do is if it doesn't say log in here, you want to go in here to login access policies. Administrators can log in as any user. Check it. Save it. Now, let's go back to users. now you can see that I can log in. These other users, Analytics Cloud and Chatterfree, we don't care about those. So this Org Farm Epic person, I can now log in as them. So with your new user, I recommend logging in and looking at what they're seeing. So in this case, all accounts. I want them to see all accounts. I'll just go ahead and pin it for them. Contacts. Okay, now, this is a different view than the view you have for accounts. And it can be very confusing because they'll come in here and they'll say, well, I don't see what you're seeing. What you want to do is click on this list view. Anytime you see this blue thing, it gives you much different list views and everything else. So click on list view, and then you can come back here, select all contacts, and hit the pin. Again, the pin means every time I come to this tab, this is the view I want to see. Now, what we were looking at was the quote intelligence view, but I prefer this view because I can do so much more with it. Let me check opportunities, and I'll pin that. And let me go to tasks. And what I like on the tasks is there's 3 different views. You've got the table view, which I'm going to pin open tasks. You have the Kanban view, which really isn't applicable in this case because it's either open or completed. But some people like the split view, and that's where it lists them. And when you click on a task, it can give you all the details over here. So, but I like to pin the open tasks because the open tasks are the open tasks for that person. So that's a little bit about creating a user. Make sure you get the permission sets, log in as them, and at least set the initial views to all or whatever is appropriate for them to make their getting started that much easier. If you have any questions, 513-482-1127. Thanks.